Elliot.
How are you, sir?
I am great, man. How are you? Long time no speak.
I know it has been a little bit. I was just trying to figure that out, although I will say I'm very excited you're coming to the Improv.
Yes, Thursday through Saturday. I will be there with bells on. It'll be awkward, me wearing bells on stage.
I kind of like it. Hey, correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like you have always said you enjoy playing the Improv.
Oh, it's probably my favorite club in the country. I've recorded 2 albums there. That's how much I love the Improv.
And why?
Well, I think that a couple things. One, the club staff is great. You know, you always know when you go to a club and they have the same staff year after year that it must be a good club because usually turnover is pretty high. But generally, it's the audiences that in DC, everybody is smart and nobody is cool. And it's not entirely untrue. Yeah, you know, it's like everybody's got like an advanced degree, but nobody knows how to, put on a pair of clothes, a set of clothes that doesn't look dorky.
All right, I'll take that. Listen, if it works for you, it's fantastic.
It's a bunch of kids in your school who started the can drive. And that is the ideal comedy audience, in my opinion.
Also, before we get too far into it, I was reading through one of your newsletters. Dude, yeah. Your dog just turned 15?
Indeed, 15 years old. And I was smart. I invested in one of those immortal dogs, so he will never die. And that is a good sign. Yeah, no, 15 years old. He's going on strong. He does wear a diaper a good amount of time around the house. It's very stylish. He's kind of become a difficult pooper in his advanced years, which is, means that the walks tend to be a little longer, a little slower.
Right.
But, he's a good dude. I mean, I always feel like, people think that you get a dog so that they will show you affection. I always feel like it's the opposite. We get dogs because they let us show them affection.
Right.
Like they're just, they just accept love, and you don't have to feel embarrassed about it. You don't have to worry that if you love your dog too much, he's going to think you're a cuck or whatever.
But wait, is this the only dog you've had as an adult? Like, for example, I have 2 now, and I've had a bunch before, but I've never had a dog live past, I think 7 years is the longest by far. I feel like 15
I'm immediately calling Animal Protective Services on you.
They die young. They die young, Christian. They die
what
young.
What kind of dogs are you getting?
I had an American Bulldog that died of cancer. I had a Great Dane that died of cancer. A lot of my dogs die of cancer.
Yeah, well, that's because you literally blow cigarette smoke in their face from their birth. No, I mean, yeah, Great Dane, big dogs, bulldogs tend to die early. Like I go, I live in New York City, so I go for the little tiny guys. I got a Shih Tzu, pug, whatever mix, and some other dude who's like, I don't know what he's 8,000 different dogs. He's part iguana, I think.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, the small dogs are the way to go. In my opinion, they last longer. They have fewer health issues. But yeah, I mean, if I could afford if I had the room for a big goofy dog, that would be nice for these 7 years until it inevitably died of cancer like yours.
Hey, by the way, you mentioned you live in New York. Did you just move again?
I moved within New York. We moved to a different neighborhood. We live in a neighborhood in New York City in Queens called Jackson Heights. It's apparently the most densely populated ethnic neighborhood in America, in the sense that there's something like 40 languages spoken in my neighborhood.
Is there still a diner called the Jackson Diner? Best Indian food you'll ever eat.
Oh, yes, Jackson Diner. I know the place you're talking about. Yes, that is a little further from me.
Oh, okay.
There's a place called Jack's Diner, Jax, which is next to me. But then Jackson Diner, yes, that is an Indian restaurant. I have heard great things, but I've not been there yet.
All right, very good. All right, let's get back into a couple of other things. I mentioned you'll be in town this weekend at the Improv. That I mentioned I saw in the newsletter about the dog. Dude, your newsletter, not only obviously you keep doing it and it keeps going, new music for olds. But I feel like it keeps building, it keeps building, and it keeps building.
Yeah, it's pretty nice considering I do next to no promotion for it. I'm the world's worst self-promoter, which is why I'm very thankful for you having me on, because I am essentially hopeless. Like, I'm barely on Instagram. I don't do TikTok. I left Twitter. I post a lot on Blue Sky, which means I have a reach of about 9 people. Um, but yeah, so I write this newsletter called New Music for Olds, and it's gone. It's kind of slowly built. There was one of the guys who reads the newsletter happens to write for Spin Magazine, and so he did a piece on it about 6 weeks ago, and that helped a lot. And I don't really try to make a ton of money from it. I probably should, but it's mostly just my way to justify how many hours a week I spend listening to music.
How do you, well, first of all, I like what you were saying because I read that Spin article that you were talking about or you mentioned. And I do like where you mentioned that we live in an endless food court of music, which I thought was great. I thought that was a perfect way to describe of just going online and just clicking around and clicking around and clicking around. It really is just an endless supply of whatever you want it to be.
Yeah. I mean, and the algorithms will trap you. They will get you listening to the same 9 albums you listened to when you were 22, and if you allow it to, the streaming services will basically keep you an eternal college student, in terms of your taste. And so it's there's so many awful things about the way art and music is consumed now, but one of the nice things is that it's all available to you at any moment. So if you have any interest in music is never going to hit. I'm 52. A new song, as much as I love it, is never going to hit me as hard as it would have when I was 16.
Right.
You're just not, when you're 16, you're just full of hormones and you're just an open vessel. When you're 52, I'm a jaded nub of a human being. So it takes a little harder to break through the ice. But you can make your week 10% better at any time by finding there's always a new song out there that's going to give your life that sort of new car smell for a few days. So yeah. So
Christian, let me ask you this then. If the algorithm traps us and corners us and it's the same stuff that we already like, and maybe yours is already changed just because of how all over the road you are. How does a normal person break the algorithm?
I think just literally curiosity. I mean, just first of all, an easy way is to click on a genre that you're not familiar with. Like I've never heard Scandinavian hip hop. Let's hear that for 30 seconds. You don't have to like any of it. I am trying to listen to more jazz, which feels more like a homework assignment. But I've been trying to just reach out, just literal idle curiosity. The same way that if you were going through like a flea market or like a vintage store when you go to the record store. And
Christian, how many vintage stores do you know me? How many vintage stores have I been in?
Well, I mean, if there is a vintage store devoted strictly to weightlifting pants, you might. And that is not a slam on you personally, more a slam on the radio disc jockey uniform.
That was fantastic.
I have seen disc jockeys wear outfits that would uncurl your pubes. There are so many weird facial hair combinations and there's stuff out there. I'm sure that there's probably vintage hockey jerseys that you be on the lookout for.
Okay, all right, very good. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. True or false? It is not Christmas for you or the Christmas season for you until you hear "Do They Know It's Christmas?"
Yeah, that's when, everybody has their one song. And for me, that's when it sort of clicks into place. Like, Do They Know It's Christmas is sort of like, all right, I guess we're actually doing this. But yeah, that is the one. It's kind of a weird song when you think of it now, because it's like, of course they don't know it's Christmas because they live in Africa. They don't do Christmas, or at least a lot of it's a very condescending, tonight, thank God it's them instead of you. It's like, all right, well, that's a pretty dark way of thinking about it.
But in the newsletter, you do point out that that's how you know it's Christmas time. But then you start breaking down and getting into all of the charity Christmas songs that kind of came in its wake.
Yeah, not just the Christmas songs, but all the charity songs in general. Like of course, "We Are the World," and then Canada had "Tears Are Not Enough," and which ordinarily I would want to make fun of, but I feel like these days America really can't really be taking shots at Canada. It feels like Canada's doing a little better than we are. But then there's a heavy metal one that I was a fan of in the '80s by a band called Hearing Aid. Get
Right?
it?
Yeah, I
Hearing
got it.
Aid.
I got it.
Yeah, yeah, and it was all the cheese metal dudes that I loved in the '80s. It's probably an 8-minute song, 6 minutes of which is just guitar wanking, and that's a classic one. There's the one that, of course, I highlighted in the newsletter, which I love so much, is the Swedish Metal Aid song "Give a Helping Hand," which was organized by Joey Tempest of Europe, Final Countdown fame.
Right, your breakdown of it is fantastic.
Yeah, I highly recommend anyone who is a connoisseur of Swedish metal and or charity goes and checks that out. But yeah, if you're really bored, do yourself a favor, just go on YouTube and Google Swedish Metal Aid, and you will have yourself a chuckle because it is a beat scene.
Hey, before not Christmas song, but still charity related. Did you when you were a kid, did you do Hands Across America?
I know it existed, but I think I'm from Massachusetts and people don't like physical contact there. So I think the idea of holding hands with people was just anathema to my community. I never did Hands Across America. We don't touch people.
Back to Christmas. Are you a good Christmas dude?
Not really. I mean, we don't have kids, that we know of. Not really. I don't. It's like I always feel a lot of pressure. My wife gets super into buying presents, and then she gets really excited about what she imagines my response to her presents are going to be. Like, "Oh, you're going to love what I got you," and it never really lives up. But so I have to fake it. I put on my sort of fake Christmas reactions, which, I feel like Christmas gift reactions are for husbands what orgasms are for women. Like sometimes we mean it, but sometimes it's just we appreciate the effort and let's just not make this weird.
So you and Cambry aren't doing anything special?
Not really. I'm actually going to be on the road and she's going to be working, so we're actually not even going to be together for Christmas. You have to remember, we have been married for 409 years, and so the idea, like, we'll do Christmas in February when we have time. We don't really, we're one of the things that I love about my wife, and there's many things I love about my wife, is that neither of us is super like dependent on like the holiday has to be on this day.
Right.
Like, we will do 4th of July in October if we want to.
Hey, did I learn something new about Cambry? And I love your wife, but did I learn something new
about?
What do you
mean by that, Elliot?
Is she a figure skater?
She has become a figure skater in her 50s. She started skating during the pandemic as kind of like a hobby, and now she is obsessed.
Is she really?
Yeah. She owned a comedy club for 11 years.
Yeah, right.
And she sold that in the spring. And then now, just because she needed a job, she's now working at an ice skating rink.
Shut up! Are you serious?
Yeah. That's her job. Like, she had to be an elf. She had to be like Santa's helper on the ice yesterday.
That is awesome. Yeah. I love that.
I will say, though, that's like I've never been an ice skating fan in general, and her wardrobe choices since she started figure skating have really gone out the window. Like, there is a way too many sequins in her closet now.
But dude, that is like figure skating, number one, very hard. Number two, hard. The later you wait, the harder that is to pick up. Skating in general. But dude, give her credit for just picking that up.
No, she absolutely adores it, and she had, not to really bring things down, she had breast cancer a bunch of years ago, and the medicine she takes, they like they tell you to do like weight bearing exercises to like help bone density and stuff like that. And so that's one of the reasons she took it up. And it's like completely changed her life. Like she comes home from ice skating. She goes to Central Park in the mornings and skates at Woolman Rink there. And then she goes to, she's literally skates like 5 days a week and she's just completely obsessed. It's
I love
pathetic,
it.
honestly.
And you don't skate. Do you even have a hobby?
Wishing doom on my enemies. I sit around and I think of elaborate schemes in which people who have wronged me will face the ultimate price.
So yes, you do. Very good. Very good.
Yeah. I'm very active in my hobby.
Excellent. All right. Christian Finnegan will be at the Improv Thursday through Saturday. One show Thursday, 2 shows Friday, 2 shows Saturday. DCimprov.com for your tickets. Christian, dude, it is good to talk to you again. Please tell Cambry we said hello.
I will indeed. Thank you so much for having me, Elliot.
Hey, you got it, brother. We'll talk soon.